Are you sure you want to start streaming? Yes. Yes, please. Please and thank you. So, I hope everybody's having a good day. I'm having a good day. Yeah. There we go. I'm right there. I have to check my stuff because I have to. It just offered to have me stream on a larger TV. I guess what it does now is when I click on it, it wants to shoot it to the TV where I have my Fire Stick. No, thank you. Okay, so here's what we're doing. We're working on this Manilex page that I was working on last night. I'm going to keep going forward with this because, like I said, I want you guys to see from start to finish how things happen. I want you to see my sketches. I want you to see how stuff kind of comes together. Like Hannibal from the A-Team. Not that 90s video. Was it 90s or 2000? Mr. T was, well, no, the B.A. Baracus was an MMA fighter who drops people on their heads. He's a good fighter, but you know, there's nothing wrong with the old 80s A-Team. I liked that. So what we're doing here is we're tightening things up. And we are trying to make things look a little better. We're also making reference to old 80s TV shows. Okay, so we'll do that. Oh, there's a little bit of detail in the hair I need to grab. Now, for this right here, like, yeah, I get it. That's not what the inside cartilage of a human ear looks like, but these guys are kind of elves, so I'm just going to whip anything in there. The goal of an ear is to be held up so that you can catch sound, you know? Da, 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 da. Great, now I'm going to have that stuck in my head for a bit. Tip of the pen, up you get. Try going in a straight line, just like that. That's better. It's better. It's not perfect, but it's better. And with all the other lines in there, I doubt you'll be able to really see that I messed that up. See? Okay. So second panel's looking pretty good. And, that panel, the first panel. The second panel is going to have the villain, the green, whatever name, I forget what it is, but he is going to be blasting that energy and Alex. So how about X? Add some gray down here. There we go. Come up here. We'll go with layer 2 and tighten some of this stuff up. like that. And we'll do a little sash, because I think that's, pretty sure that's what he's got there. Sash there. Go like this. Shoulder. Do a little hand thing like that. Just the thumb. Oh no, I gotta wait for the and this goes like this. Ooh, I just noticed. Yep, there we go. So I just noticed as I was getting to the edge of the panel, I wasn't seeing my line show up. And what happens there is sometimes there's a snap to special ruler that's set on in the view. And what that does is whatever lines you put close to that, it pulls them right to the guide. So it does that with the purpose of making sure that your lines are straight, like a rule. You know, Clip Studio Paint, it's doing what it should. That's why when I don't see those, it's probably an indicator that I didn't click that off. So that's exactly what I did. Went, checked to see if it was off. Okay. There's the elbow. This is going to be the wrist guard. Goes down. Square with the hand. Thumb goes in here. Like that. See? Alex is a different blade because the handle of his blade is made from the bone of a dragon. As I'm told by Alex Cayazzo, he has to kill the dragon in order to get that bone. And what happens is he focuses his power through the bone. And the blade he has is essentially wind. So the way I figure it is, if the bone is the handle, it's a dragon bone, so it's going to be sturdy and it's going to be pretty dense. So it should be fluted so that it concentrates the air, which is part of his power, and the blade can be stronger. It can be wide, it can be narrow, it can do all sorts of stuff, and you'll see what I mean and how I mean it in just a bit here, because one of the things he does on this page is he pulls in the next panel, because he's being shot at. He takes the blade and he uses it to protect himself. It creates like a shield of air. So I have to kind of use physics and a little bit of ingenuity to make that happen. So he's got it in this hand, which would be his right hand. So that would mean that if I had to reach for that blade, I would go like this. So this here is going to be empty. So this one here is going to have a blade in it. So he really only needs one in his hand, and then the other one is like, oh, I got a sword. Oh my goodness. So that's what's going to go down. Now, but Alex is not going to seem shocked. He's not going to seem afraid like he did when he was in that tunnel. Those traps popped up and showed him as being shocked at the booby trap because I wanted to sell it. But he's in combat right now, so he's not going to be afraid. I need to pull up reference, so let's pull up these two. Let's pull this up. So So just pull up the last page, which was page 2, so that I can get a really good look at his face. There we go. Look at that. See that right there? Just like that. Now what I could do is, I could go over here, and I could find, could go here, I could go, whoop, let's copy that, and go here. Face is over there, so let's drag it up here. Transform, flip horizontal, enter, edit, convert. What? Oh, because of the gray. So let's go with that. Delete. And the ints are right above. I've had people suggest that this might be plagiarism. I've gotten into a few discussions about it, where it's plagiarism of one sort or another, and it's really not. Layer settings. Set of the reference layer, shut that off. Bring this down here. Put links. So you see guys all the time, they'll lightbox their old work and it'll save them time. It's not really plagiarism. I think someone was trying to argue the point that it was intellectual plagiarism, and quite honestly, it's not. Intellectual plagiarism is used during educational or reference papers. And the reason why it's called intellectual plagiarism is because, or self-plagiarism, that's what it was. Self-plagiarism is, it's used when a scholar tries to cite themselves as the source of their information. Now, in a doctorate or a master's or a thesis level paper where you're trying to prove or disprove an idea that you have, can you picture how unethical it would be if you were trying to prove a theory you'd had in the scientific or the medical community or the educational community, and you used yourself as the source? That would be just really unethical. It's nothing like copying the same style or elements that you use in the artistic world. It's nothing like that. Because a lot of guys will use elements that they have over and over again. And they do it to save themselves time and money. And that's not plagiarism. So, as I said, the argument was put to me that it's self-plagiarism when an artist copies his own work in order to speed things up, and that's just not the case. It's a shortcut. It's a shortcut. You did it right once. You know you can do it right multiple times. So you do it. And you use your work. There we go. Just trying to clean stuff up. Clean this up. Pull that out of there. That's a little curved, like it's for the brow. You know, because Manalix is kind of, he's getting into it. So he's wearing his mask, and the brow furrows, pops just a little bit. You get the wrinkles in between your eyebrows when Making your angry face. Well, that's what's going on. See, there's that. Let's go back to this page and take a look at what we got. Okay, collarbone, the M comes up to about there. So what I'm doing here is I'm referencing what I've done so that I can keep continuing, not so that I can copy myself. I need to make sure that everything's proper. Make sure that everything looks the same. So that is why we're doing that. So see, he's got this little, what is it, pauldron? Or I forget what it's called. It's a piece of shoulder armor. It's something that I think the French army used to use for their sword fighters or what have you. Look at this. Okay, there we go. There's supposed to be just one. And I've got that little piece there. So as I was explained to me, you know, oh, this shoulder armor has little spikes on it. And what I thought, and what I proposed to Alex when we were talking about this was, hey, so here's the thing. If he has to kill a dragon to make the handle of his sword, then how about if he keeps pieces of it? Like, you know, I can't imagine that if you have to kill something as big and as formidable as a dragon, you're not going to want to keep trophies. And he asked me what I meant. And I said, well, what about when he's doing his shoulder pads, his pauldrons or padroons? What if he uses those as the spikes? He uses maybe a tooth or a nail. Alex thought it was a good idea, so I ran with it. Oof, I gotta be honest, I'm feeling tired. It's been a long day, guys. A long day. I was watching, I was babysitting one of our best friend's daughters. She's cool. She's a cool kid. She's really smart. Very high energy. I enjoyed my time with her. Just took a lot out of me. It's I had to stay on. I had to be like, I couldn't. It's not like you know when you're with a 7-year-old. It's not like being with an adult. You know, it's not like you can't be like yourself. You have to be the adult. Kid wants to sit and eat ice cream, you can't allow them to eat ice cream. You have to kind of be an adult. And that's not to say that that's what she wanted to do. It's just me using an example, you know? She was a good kid. She wanted a snack. She wanted some carrots. I was cool with it. I want some carrots. Dooba dooba. This goes in here. These. This. Ugh. Yep. I need to. I really need to brush up on my muscle memory exercises. That way I can hit the mark every time. Remember, like I said, the little spikes are dragging bones and claws and stuff. I could go to this page here, take a look at what I got. Okay, so there's no guards that go on the exterior of the. Oh, and I missed a bone there. What? Just got to remember, it kind of wraps around. Kind of wraps around the shoulder. Like this. There we go. Oh, yeah, that's a misplaced line. I should have kept that in there. This goes there. Now, one problem I'm having is I can't remember. Okay, it's on the right side. So there's a where the sash ties. I need to make sure that that's consistent as well. Because you don't want to start putting the sash where it doesn't belong and have it go back and forth, because there will always be people that are like, hey, that doesn't tie right there. Why did you do that in issue such and such, panel this? At least I imagine that that's what would happen, even though it more than likely won't. But, you know. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst. That's what I like to do. Okay, so that, and then we got the folds behind where the knee goes. And then go like that. Go like this. Another fold in the sash there. Well, that should be fun. Fan, just fan. Go depending on how that goes. We'll go. Come on, man. Memory sometimes slows it down. Okay, it's almost like the Wu-Tang W, but it's upside down. Oh. So that's zoom in. And make sure that you are getting your lines tight. There we go. So we got some overlapping stuff. Go over here. Yeah, buddy. Oh, that's good, right? Let's see. Do I have halftones? Let's turn this on. And motion lines. I didn't do anything for this panel. I thought I did. I could have sworn I wanted to. Okay, so we're gonna throw some motion lines in here. Now, those are under here, over here. Is it dense saturated lines? Brightness. It'll work, right? No. Just like this. Don't mind that. And maybe we can do another one. To that dark saturated line. Turn it a little bit. Look at that. Okay. Then we will take the layer mask and apply it. Take the layer mask and apply it. Do that. Bring it above the motion lines, bring that down. And then we will clean it up. Clean it up now before, you know, anything silly happens. Ugh, come on, man. Dude. I guess I hit the wrong button. And it was using the like a select tool. It compares to the lasso tool in Photoshop. What is it called? Come on, hover over it. It's a selection area tool. But not today. Not today. Cleaning this up, making it look pretty. Yeah, buddy. Okay, let's go down to the hand. Do that. Do this little one here. See, now you'll see when I shut the sketch off. Look at that. That looks cool. Now when it gets colored, it'll look a lot better too. I'm going to talk to my phone. I should be talking to the camera. When it gets colored, it'll look good as well. Oh, and I forgot last week that I was going to come in here and clean all this up. I'm glad you're here. I should have cleaned this up last week. See, this is some of the most tedious parts of doing this, is cleaning up. And this goes for traditional work as well. Going back over your lines, cleaning up some of your inking mistakes with like whiteout and stuff. Is that halftone? Yeah, there we go. Halftone. Now I get it. There's energy that's going into that blade. I totally get it. But you know what? It doesn't need to be all over his face. Or in his hair. It can be on his body, whatever. You may disagree. You may think, oh, I think that looks great there. Dom's on the page. I want the focus to be off of his face. Motion lines, motion lines. I get it. This stuff down here at the bottom of the panel. You're probably like, but you just said. Yeah, I know what I just said. That is either on halftone or motion lines. It was on motion lines. So let's go into inks. Put a little bit more stranding. Make it look a little bit more hair-like. I get it. It's fake hair, but gotta make it look like hair, man. It needs to be a little wild because it's going everywhere. Need to be a little bit more stressed out in the shoulders with the drapery. That drapery is really not realistic. But, you know, the whole thing, it should look good, but it doesn't need to be realistic. So we've got first panel, last panel, third panel. I don't know, I feel as though maybe I should work on some of these panels tomorrow. But I have like a huge job that I need to get started on. Not that I shouldn't work on this one. So it should. All the jobs are important. Oh, I'm an emotional ink layer. Should be an ink layer. It's like I forgot all of a sudden how to draw a fist or draw something holding something. Drawing a hand holding something. Something holding something. Can you be more vague? I can. Just give me a few minutes. Okay. So I see a bunch of folks that pop in and they pop out. But let me ask this. When you guys go to watch a video online, do you prefer to be recognized? Do you guys prefer that, like, if you come into a video, if whoever you're watching is like, hey, how's it going? You know, like Ken or Sean in some cases. My buddy Sean hopped on. So I'm just wondering, you know, if you guys prefer to be recognized, or if I should just keep doing what I'm doing and shut my mouth. Okay. What do I do? Okay, this is going to be, wow, I'm really off my game tonight. I kind of wonder if I don't feel good, if like I have some sort of cold or something. I dread to say the C word because that's a no-no. It's just, it's been going around a bunch of people that I know. A bunch of people that I know have tested positive for it, and I haven't hung out with them. It's just like, whenever things like that happen around me, I have to wonder if, you know, it's a lesson, or if the universe is foreshadowing. If they're like, you need to be ready, it's going to happen. I mean, I'm definitely mindful of it. Of course, with my heart and everything, I have to pay attention to stuff like that. I have to be aware of, you know, keeping myself healthy, and I have to eat the right foods, he said, knowing full well he'd kill a hobo for some tacos right now. He was begging his wife to get pizza for tonight. I have to pay attention to that stuff. But, you know, I feel a little run down. And I gotta wonder if it's... I gotta wonder if I did something. If I'm sick. Look at that. Look at that. He's doing pretty good work here. I don't need you to give me a name drop. I just want to support. Okay. Well, all you gotta do, Sean, is just hit me up. I mean, if you're looking to learn stuff, just let me know. This is digital right now. And Alex, I've already dropped your name. When I started the video, I was letting people know that I was working on an Alex that you created. And I think I even mentioned how I might butcher some words because, you know, I'm not sure how you exactly pronounce certain things, but I think I'm doing just fine. Put some little things in the blade there. Let's close up this hand stuff. He says close up this hand stuff. I see how you draw it now. Oh, are you talking about the copy and paste thing? I think I explained that to you. I explained that to you. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm just going to copy it and paste it. Oh, did I just put some... Yeah, well, you know what? Those are going to... That stuff's going to blend together anyway. My nose is itchy. Okay, so that one's good, I think. That's him blasting. This is Manalix using the shield method. So we're going to go to layer 2, grab that gray. That's the erase. So use the action line like that. Oops, there it goes like that. There's the chest. Because the other shoulder is going to be back there and you can't see it, arm's going to go down here. It's going to be kind of fanned out. He's got this. So because he's moving and twisting real quick, I would assume that the sash is going to be like that. It's going to go like this. This will go like this. And then it's going to be a stance. Pants will be a little tight around the leg there. It's got that foot guard that goes like that. Because he's holding the sword in this hand, he's going to have that one in the still. It's called scabbard, I think. Yeah, it's going to have that one still in the sheath or the scabbard. This is going to be that. Do we have a background there? There we go. Backgrounds. Oh, no. Come on, man. Good. Just doing the ground justice. Take the brush, do some halftone stuff, halftone dots. Oh, I'm not on the right layer. So there is a halftone layer. So let's abide by the rules that we're putting down for ourselves. That's cool, right? I mean, I think so. I really want to invest in the arm. I want to go to want to do some motion stuff with it. Oh, yeah, I'm going to push to do this. So I'll go like that. And the hand, so the hand's going to lean back a little bit. So I want it to have the weight of the sword kind of flexing. I'm glad you approve. I'm glad you approve, man. I'm serious. And I'm glad that you let me use this to show people. Reference here. So the elf jumps as the fire is kind of. That's what it is. That, okay, I knew there was something I wasn't really. To kind of get some embers going. It's like the flames are just kind of. We'll go to inks. See what we can do here. Oof. Get a little scrunched here in the middle because he's kind of bending over it. To kind of do that. Just like that. Halftones. And I get it. You just drew those in there. Why are you getting rid of them? Because I need to keep everything together. I need to kind of make it look like it belongs there. And go back to inks. So we'll go to layer 2, tighten this up, and because this is how the blade goes, but it's going to be wider. It's that air shield that I was telling you guys about. Well, it has to look kinetic. This is the fight scene that you've created. This is what you wanted. It's a lot of energy and a lot of martial arts, so it has to look like it's moving. Because if you don't believe it's moving as the writer, then what hope do I have for people reading it, you know? So I'm going to go one layer above the inks. I'll switch this. Go like this. Now I know there's a blush in here. It's like Wet Willy or something. Wet Chat. There it is. Nope. It's not good enough. Wet Chat Dry. So I can always erase outside. So everything that looks like it falls in the gutters, I can just get rid of. I don't have to put things in there. Now, as you're looking at this, I can see these two lines right here that I don't like the way it looks, because it doesn't flow. It kind of goes off on its own angle. So we're going to go to Wet Chat Dry. I'm going to go into this. Sculpt it a little more. Enlarge the brush. See? Make everything look like it flows together. Like that. I mean, you do your best. So now, we need to go to inks. Go back to the pen. We need to go like that. Because he's getting fire kind of thrown at him. So that's what the air is about. You would think that because it's fire, he needs to not use oxygen, but he's just throwing up a wall of air as a shield. And that's here. That's the guard that he has on his wrists. Other way. Does it look like each of those fingers is doing their own thing? Yeah, a little bit. But that's only because Only because there's something called the Cartoonist Toolbook that Disney created, and there's something in there that I picked up on where they say that if you're going to draw a hand, you need to make the hands not static. You just don't make them flat. You have to make them interesting, because otherwise, if they're not emoting, nobody's going to want to pay attention to them. They're not going to hold any interest. So what I do is I like to make them emote. Yeah. And thank goodness I put that layer there. That's not gonna work, but you know. Yeah, I pick a lot up from like Kirby and Ramita and guys like that. I think I was just talking about Kirby the other night. I think I was talking with my wife about it. I think I was telling her that we're kind of like Kirby and Jack and Rose. And that's not, and I explained it to her, I'm like, I am by no means a master, but I think if people were to start hanging out in the studio while I'm drawing cartoons, you know, you would be making sandwiches, and I would try to be giving away artwork, and you would walk in and start telling me that that stuff's worth money, and I can't be giving it away. She's the best. I love my wife. She is a wonderful woman. So I was working for a chocolate company. I won't say which one. And while I was out getting my heart valve replaced, I kept getting text messages wondering when I was going to come back. And I explained to them that I would have to recover because I just had a heart valve replaced. And HR got in touch with me, and they told me that I could do the short-term disability thing, which I did. And then they called me and they told me that it was going to be a while. So if I thought that I was going to have to do long-term disability, they would need to fill my position. And I was not happy about that because I worked very hard and I did very well with them. Did very well by them. And I asked them, point blank, how do you sleep at night? What kind of ethics do you have telling me that if I have to heal because my heart, which I need to live, got medically repaired, and if I need to stay out on long-term disability, which you guys have as part of your medical leave, you'd replace me. That doesn't seem ethical, and it definitely doesn't seem legal. And I was asked if I'd like to have the corporate HR call me, which I did. I had her call me. And she explained to me that that wasn't going to happen. I wasn't going to be replaced. The person that said that was wrong. And then I don't have to worry. I have a job. I can heal. So when I got back to work, I was asked about that conversation. And I explained to them that, yeah, I did say that because that wasn't cool. And I don't know if it was a week or 2 weeks, but I got a call from HR when I returned back to work. And HR had said, hey, we have a bunch of complaints about you, and they're very unprofessional, and my wife was standing there. They said that the conversation was, I was making comments about customers' bodies. I had spoken to my coworkers about my sex life, and I had spoken and said that I wanted to sleep with my coworkers, and none of that was accurate, none of that was true, and I was told that I was going to be let go, and nothing really I could do with it, nothing really I could do about it. It was very obvious to me that I was being run out because I was the only one who had ethics, and fine, you know, I explained to my wife that there's no way, you can't possibly believe that any of that's true. She said, no, I could tell by their conversation that that was just a kangaroo court to get you out. And when you posed questions, they didn't really have answers for you. And what she said to me was, you don't want to be there, because if you were back there, you'd be miserable. She's like, you don't belong at a job like that anyway. You belong doing what you love. She said, you go ahead and you do what you love, and we'll find a way to make it work. And that's how you knew. That's how you knew you had the one. She understands your personal growth. She's one of your best friends. It's good stuff. Oh, that is so gross. That is so gnarly. Ugh, okay. I'm going to use some of, nope. I'm going to use some of IG's editing some tricks here. What? There you go. That's how that works. So you want to erase that part, and then you want to erase this part, and then you want to add that, and you want to go someplace. You want to go and add. Oh, dude, what am I doing? I changed the color without even noticing. Like that. Nope. See that? That should work. That should work fine. And then the coloring is just going to blow it out of the water. And then we'll just come in here to layer 2. And we'll do this. And get the head in there. Yeah, you know what? Let's go back to page 2. See if we can't do a cut and paste here. It shouldn't be too bad, right? Circle once. Copy. Talked about this earlier. What this is shortcut. Let's do orange. Sure, if you're paying attention, this is just basically digital light boxing. That's all it is, man. take elements you've already created and you size them up and you just digitally lightbox them. And go to inks. It looks kind of sloppy. All these lines overlapping one another. Oh wait, I just went behind the art. And I was right, it was sloppy. But, shortcut. See? Just, if you have a tablet, you can get Clip Studio, and it's relatively inexpensive, and all you need is a stylus. Like if you have an iPad, you get an Apple Pencil, you're good to go. You could do this. I mean, I'm doing it on a graphic tablet that cost me a couple $100. It's not even a Wacom, which is top of the line. It cost me like $400 or $500, and it's by a company. It's a Chinese company called XP Pen. But I have a Surface Pro 6, and that comes with its own stylus. Inexpensive. Clip Studio is like $80-90, and if you get the EX, which is like, there's more bells and whistles, you can actually animate with that, and you can do a few more things. That's like $150. So the software itself is way worth it. And this right here, man, a lot of my friends, they swear by this. This used to be Manga Studio. That's what this used to be. Yeah, Alex, it's just lightboxing. It's on its own layer, and as long as I'm inking on the right layer and showing things where they should be, and it's going to work out. Ooh. Just change to a pencil. If you think of it as clear plastic, like acetate, like animation cells, that's how it works. So you can see through everything, and when you work, you just want to make sure that things lay properly. Remember, some things are on top of others, and you just want to make sure that your layers are where everything needs to be. Where did I have that? That's backgrounds. Backgrounds. See, like that. See, and the red and gray stuff, those are sketch layers that I have down towards the bottom. And I have those under everything so that I can sketch, and then I know what to draw and where to draw stuff on the layers above it. So, do this. It's a foot guard. I think it goes like that. This. Foregrounds? No. Backgrounds. Just like that. And there's halftones, we'll get rid of that, and you'll see, in a second, you'll see a foot with a foot guard on it. And then you can see that I did some inks wrong, but we can clean those up. See? Just like that. Ta-da! Here we go. It's going to be special. Is there backgrounds? backgrounds. Oh. Go in. Just like that. See? So that's what I got done. I finished up 1, 2, 3, 4 panels tonight. That explosion is going to go up in the air. I think what I'm going to do oh yeah, that's what I'll do. I'm going to do this. Copy, go over here, paste, take this down here. I'm going to make that layer match the inks. Then I'm going to take it, flip horizontal, do this, and put here. Erase some stuff. Where do I have it? Okay, so I pull this out. Ooh. I think there's a background. Right? Or is that on? Is that on inks? It's on inks. Okay, so go. Some stuff here. And halftone. Alright, so I forgot to do this thing. There we go. Look at that. And this foreground's copy too. We can bring up here. Just merge down to the inks. And bring this down. Is that foreground? Inks. Inks. See, here we go. And then what I was doing on the other page was, I gotta look at this. Okay, so I can tell by that halftone that I have in the statue that, hey, Miguel, what's up, Mix? I can tell by that statue that I used the halftone brush, which was watercolors. No. What did I do? India ink. That's what I did it with. It's down here. Halftone fine. Halftone dots. Okay. And then we'll go to the halftones layer. And I have to keep in mind where the light source is, because in this panel there's going to be an explosion in the air. So that means all this stuff is going to be like right here. But I don't want it to be a gray, like a real dark gray. I want it to be that. Oh, dude. There we go. Just run in real quick on the halftones layer. Now, one thing you want to remember is that when you're doing this, like, you can actually pull some stuff out. If you're like, oh man, I didn't mean to get that, you can use the eraser. You can pull some stuff out. You can clean things up. I'll show you in just a minute here. So there's some stuff I messed up. See how I got outside the beak area. And then there's this here. I'll do that. Here. Keep in mind your light source. You definitely want to keep in mind some textures. So you can probably do something like that. Pull some dots. Make it look gritty and stone-like. So, like that. So you're like, oh, there's this bird statues that are supposed to be protecting the city, or the town, the village. So what I need to do is I need to put an explosion in the sky. Oh, you know what? Show you guys how to do that. Because there's a portion of Clip Studio Paint that allows you to go into something called Clip Studio. And you can look up tutorials, and you can look up elements. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to look up an element. I just got to wait until this catches up and logs me in. You log in and make sure that you're supposed to be there, and you get an account when you buy the software and you register it. An explosion. And you just find what it is you're looking for. See the explosion effect brush? I tend to always look for stuff that's free because I don't want to pay for this. Look at that. Explosion brush set. Those are balloons. That's an explosion. Let's go here. Let's look at this. Let's look at this explosion brush. It should have more than one. And if it does, we can... Yeah, see? Look at that. You can combine them. Free. Download. It's mine. Up here, at the top, you'll see that the little arrows go in two different ways. The one that shows that it's downloading one element for me. And when it's done, I can close this and go back over to Clip Studio Paint, and I can use what I was looking for. You can actually click on it and see how far along it is. Look, it's 83.91. It'll be done in a second. Okay, done. Close that. Close this. Hi, Emily. I hope you feel better. Oh. I hope it's catching up, because if this crashes, I'm not going to be... It crashed. I am not happy. Hopefully I can restore this. Clip Studio is good about opening files you've had opened and then restoring them. It crashes occasionally. Not all the time. But whenever you try to do too much, too fast, it crashes. See? Boom. Let's open up the page we had. Nope, you guys are not supposed to see that. What is that? Okay. There's that. No worries. You can come over another time, I'm sure. Now, we want to see if the element that we just downloaded is in there. And it's in there. So I will use that tomorrow. You guys, I hope you enjoyed seeing me draw cartoons. If you have any questions, hit me up. Feel free to contact me on whatever social media you're watching this on. Have a good night. And thanks for watching, guys.